Hey everybody, it's Fi. I'm checking out Pew Pew Space Shooter. Part of the Reddit Feedback Friday, I'm going to read the Reddit post here real quick. Here's a generic top-down space shooter I'm working on. Looking for feedback on polish, sounds, movement, or art style. P.S. There's a sound channel bug with some of the explosions, so ignore that. So that's all that's written. I've got the game page open here. You can see it's in the browser, so there's no download option. Hopefully that works without a hitch. I have certain times in the past tried playing these games in the little browser thing on itch and ended up with some input problems for some reason, but we're gonna give this a shot. See if we give some useful feedback. So arrow keys, move, hold spacebar to shoot. All right, so we have to use arrow keys, no WSD. Sometimes it's nice to use WASD. It's because I get a lot more used to that. I'm actually not used to using arrow keys at all. So just gonna click on. Oh, it does use WASD. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So the explosions in my earphones are super annoying because they're like bouncing back and forth between the left and right channels. So the one thing that stood out to me real immediately is that there's tons of inertia on the movement. Audio is pretty loud. I'm going to turn it down for me so I can hear myself think. Hopefully it's okay in the capture. It might be a little loud. But yeah, typically putting any inertia at all on the movement in an old school shmup like this is a no-no. So I would definitely consider that. It just makes everything much more responsive to be able to move without inertia, which is pretty important to be able to do very accurate movements to avoid all these little bullets and stuff, so that would feel a lot better. It's really high right now. There's also like a health bar. Okay, so I did want to get an idea of what the collision boxes were like. It looks like the collision might actually even be pixel perfect, which is another no-no actually. Typically these kind of shmups really benefit a lot from having collision boxes that are significantly smaller than the sprites themselves. And you can go really small, like on the player ship itself. Some games actually do like a 1 pixel hitbox for the player. This gives you a lot of leeway to kind of squeeze in between bullets and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you need to do 1 pixel by any means, but you make it pretty darn small, and it'll only, in a lot of cases, only make the game feel better. So something I would consider. So I'm wondering if anything else is going to happen. I've just kind of seen these these few enemies a lot so far. Maybe that's just kind of the state of the game for now. Also, my hand is actually getting tired holding the space bar like this. I'm actually going to let's try the arrow keys, because just holding it down with my thumb constantly while using WASD was actually making my wrists get tired. Alright, so that was kind of... Yeah, the inertia is really quite painful, unfortunately. You just can't make the quick movements that you need to. Alright, looks like I ran into the side of that long bullet, so yeah, with the collision, it seems like even the very tips of your wings can clip things, and your ship is kind of wide. So it's a bit annoying if you like run into the side of a bullet like that. These very slow-moving, long bullets, laser things. They kind of end up being little walls that you have to avoid. It's not the lasers that are necessarily bad, but it is annoying when you kind of clip your wings on something like that. It's more a matter of the hitbox in that case. Yeah, like when I try and go left and right real quick, it just doesn't move at all. I actually wonder if how far you could get just like staying right here and just holding the button down. Alright, there's a little laser. Oh, that guy shot me. A little hard to see that bullet actually for some reason. I guess like my bullets might have been overlapping it. Something to that effect. Oh, yeah, see, I'm really not used to collision being so going right to the edges of the sprite like that. This looks like you're not actually tied to a pixel grid or anything, so that's something to know. Oh. Ouch. Yeah, I couldn't. Just the amount of acceleration you have to contend with is pretty problematic. Oh, that wasn't great. Yeah, better off just leaving those guys alone because it's too hard when they're moving that quickly and I have to. I can't make quick changes in movement here. Also, those bullets being quite fast. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if this actually like progresses in any way, if it like gets harder or anything. Because I haven't really seen anything different. So far as I've played it yet. That was an ugly situation. I just ate a ton of damage, but there's not a lot of options for me right there. Between my size and my inertia. Yeah, these guys you kind of like almost have to wait for them to go horizontal, and then that can put you in some pretty rough situations once the other enemies come in. So it does seem like maybe there are more enemies coming now. It might have ramped up a little bit because it definitely is starting to feel a little bit more dense, I think, than the very beginning. Maybe it's not super obvious though. Really hard to tell if that's even the case. The enemies are quite interesting, kind of the patterns that result in everything. Nothing that unusual, but I mean, it's quite functional. Probably make it a little more obvious also when you take damage, just have a little more feedback of some sort. Because I've noticed, unless you're like looking directly at yourself, there's not really much to tell you that you just took a hit. Ugh. Okay, I died. Alright, so yeah, it doesn't look like it's really going to change anything from what I've seen so far, so yeah, my best advice to you, just completely get rid of any inertia on the movement and make the player hitbox just like a little itty bitty square right in the middle of the ship. Another trick you can do is sometimes you can kind of design the sprite so you can kind of see and some kind of visual indication, like where the hitbox is, and that can be useful also. But if you do those two things, this will like instantly be a lot better, in my opinion. And yeah, that's the best advice I could give. So far, it's quite simple, obviously. So hopefully you'll keep working on it. I mean, I think that the enemy designs and stuff were quite decent. So yeah, it was kind of compelling. So hopefully you'll consider my advice, and I'd like to try it again if you decide to tweak those things, because I think it would be a whole different game at that point. So yeah, definitely let me know if you have any questions, and I'm gonna wrap this up, so I'll see you in the next one.